hello. Hello. Hi, hello, hello. I'm going to test my audio levels. 1 second. Oh, it would help if I was playing. Okay. Okay. Greetings. Oof. Well, my chair wasn't set up. There we go. And it's I usually have the game going to have like some background noise, but with this it's like impossible to have sitting in the background making noise because it controls my whole computer. Let me this up and this up and this, that and the other. Perfect. Fingers crossed. Fingers are not crossed anymore. Oh. There we go. You know it works when the toilet flushes. Sweet. Now, I want to show you a fancy thing that I did. Whoops. Check it out. Probably can't see it all that well. It's like, I got the remote control working for my OBS again, so now I can, like, change layouts. See, look. Bye. Nope, not really bye. Hello. Okay. So now, even though this game is controlling my mouse and won't let it go, I can still do things with OBS should I need to. And that's enough. Oh, yeah, it's kind of a Stream Deck, only it does considerably less. I'm pretty sure a Stream Deck actually has a Twitch API built into it, so you can control your Twitch dashboard as well as OBS, and that only controls OBS, like switching scenes, starting and stopping. Yeah. I thought about getting I have my old iPhone 5 that I've like factory reset, but for some reason it's not getting on my Wi-Fi. So I don't know what's happened. So I had to use my phone. All right. Arrange on my cables. There we go. I think maybe there's a good chance can finish this today in 2 hours if we go fast. Gotta go fast. So let's do Garrison. Garrison. They like admitted they didn't want to come up with a word, or they didn't have a name for the word in Dunny, so they just Dunnified the word garrison and left it as a joke. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha. Garrison age. Alright, so we've already, like, touched the stone there. We've gathered the key from the dispenser. Gathered the Relto book from the crack. I think it's time. It's time to check out the jumping puzzles. Yes. Oh. This age is the beginning of the jumping puzzles. Not great. Not gonna lie. Does this door open? No. Yes. Myst and platforming. You'd think they don't go together, and you'd be correct. Not only is it jumping puzzles, it is jumping puzzles not done very well. I mean, it was a long time ago, and the physics engine was really bizarre. But it's one of those things I would have hoped they had the foresight to understand. This isn't very good. We should not do this. And they really just kind of doubled down on it in the end. I think that's the link in spot. These doors are still not opening. I swear these doors opened at one point. You'd walk up to them, the blue light would turn on, and okay, well, I know there's like a hole in this big gear thing. What you do is you just run into the wall just to make sure you don't miss it. Oh. Oh, I meant to change my stupid tie-dye shirt. And we're walking. Oh. Oh, gosh. It almost didn't let me out. Oh, I kind of remember now what I'm supposed to do. This was originally on side. Wow, words. This was originally online, right? So you'd see like 20 people press their face against the gear. Yes and no. Garrison was actually one of the few ages that were kind of like public because you had to go there to get your key. But for the most part, the ages were like instanced, so you would be playing by yourself unless you invited people. But if you invited people, then yes, absolutely. They would all be running with their face against the wall. I never saw like more than 5 people being invited into an age. But there were about 20 people allowed in the city at any given point. So I stepped on this blade. Pretty sure that's like a kickstart. Oh, look. The lights on the floor are flashing. Stomp. Nothing happened. Pull the switch. I'm just sit here and raise the pillar again. Up, that one's not working. Neither is that one. Fantastic. We'll raise the pillar again. These work now. We'll raise the pillar again. Raise the gear. Place is powered up. Oh, that was flashing green. Know what I'm looking for. I'll probably know it when I see it. Wait. Is this the one that I went into earlier? Oh, it is. Green again. I forget where to go. I'll just keep running around in circles. I think we must need to go back down here. Oh, I'm glad I did. Hidden journey. Because Yisha wants us to look at this cave-in and learn the lessons of pride. Pride causes cave-ins. Don't you know, when they talk about the city falling... Is this an elevator? That doesn't open. This is the link in spot. Oh, okay. That's a broken wall. Okay. Door with an elevator. I mean an elevator with a door. The light's on, is what I'm trying to say. This place reminds me a lot about Halo. So, this is the Garrison Age. As you can see, if we look over to your straight, there's a gigantic building. And jumping puzzles, yeah. And now you know why. Myst should not have had jumping puzzles. I don't even know. It looked like the physics of the bridge didn't let me go when I jumped off. So I was still kind of like spinning with the bridge as I was jumping, and I warped into the rock and fell off. Great! Oh, the memories. So imagine this. I'm single player without lag offline, okay? And that happened. Now imagine overloaded servers, synchronization errors, and trying to do that. There was quite a while where Garrison you could not finish it, which you had to do to finish the game. So, you know, they'd do the game and then they'd wipe the everybody's progress because they changed something, and then you'd have to do it again. And there were a couple of times where Garrison was just, you couldn't complete it. Take two. Jump. Worked that time. And now you get to wait for the bridge to come around and do it all over again. I think the borrow door is, there it is. So, after you jump around here, there, and everywhere, you've got to jump down there. And jump! Perfect, I guess. I mean, aesthetically, it's pretty cool. I just wish they weren't rotating. Like, I guess it's kind of paying respects to the mechanical age in Myst with the rotating fortress, you know? Let me in. Okay, I think I need to... yeah, I think I need to lower... Alright, after this, I'm gonna lower the auto mod because the word stupid tripped it. That's a bit over the top, if I do say so myself. Preferences, moderation, auto mod rule set. Okay. I lowered the hostility utility setting for provocation and bullying. I wonder if there's a better mod, because I'm just using Twitch built-in auto mod at this at the moment is what I'm trying to say. Oh, brother. So I remember they tried to make this into something of a social game. Can I sit here? Maybe I can't. Somewhere out here is a wall. Well, I think that's it. So it's a wall. You put on a suit that can magnetize to the wall. And someone, it might be upstairs, someone can like ping out a pattern of bumpers that will be placed on the wall, and they're invisible to the person climbing them. And I think it's 2 teams, 1 person from each team climbing the wall, and whoever navigates the invisible bumpers first wins. I don't know if that's in this version. It was definitely online. Kind of like the Master Chief shield thing. Hello? Oh! I am in a suit. Check me out. I can't see my face. But I have a maintainer's suit on now. I don't know what it's for playing by myself, but you use Nightbot? Isn't Nightbot Streamlabs? Is that the Streamlabs bot, or is that its own thing? Oh. A room with TV screens. I think there's a tapestry. Aha! I have all the fingers now. Simpson, don't mention anything about the upper area of the fortress in your garrison report. We don't want people wandering all over Teledon looking for that weird link stone. Sharper. Okay, 5 pages. Ahem. Okay, one thing seems immediately obvious. This place was built for security. No one could write a link anywhere in this place or the next. It was obviously a maintainer facility of some kind, and it doesn't seem that it was for general guild members. By that, I mean it was limited to at least the higher-ranking members. As to how they got the first link written here, I don't know. Probably while it was under construction. It does seem pretty obvious that it's not going to happen again unless something major happens to this place. So, for some reason, links don't work. I should say that Kodama has some theories about the age that have held up so far. May have been a special forces of a sort for the maintainers. Started later, mid-8000s, became somewhat of a research and development arm for the Maintainers Guild. I don't know. Worth mentioning, though, there are quite a few mentions of such groups in other documents. See, to begin with, I'd wager that no one other than the high-ranking government official or similar ever even made it to this room, the entrance. That's just my guess, but it seems pretty sound. I don't think any school buddies or girlfriends dropped by to see their maintainer friend. The linking book we found was steep within the maintainer guild. I'm sure it was well guarded in its day. You can see right off the bat the entrance was extremely secure. I love the maintainer symbol on the floor and everywhere else you look. Visitors are escorted into a side waiting room. There's a window on one side. Looks like a ticket window. Maybe to turn in books. Looks mainly for books. There's another ticket window on the other side. Pretty sure those are beetle cages on the other side. Beetles that sought out ink. Somebody was just telling me there are all kinds of references to them in other documents. You didn't make it past this room with a book. And the halls ran around the entire circumference of the building. There are plenty of rooms. There are lockers. Okay, let's see. Just had a long chat with Flaxman and researched some different documents over in the city. Looks like the original, or the current condition is not the original condition. The key was a major development, not just for the guild, but apparently for all citizens. Turns out they were just starting to hand out the keys to the public around the time of the fall. Nice timing. So it looks like they had done some renovations in order to facilitate the mass amounts of visitors that would be coming in order to retrieve keys. Turns out my girlfriend analogy was pretty much completely wrong. Girlfriends and more were going to start coming here and at least to the open sections. We've found multiple books in the neighborhoods as well as guarded maintainer book. Okay. Yes. So when you start playing online, the intro is a little bit different in that you can go get your key like right off the bat, and there would be like your neighborhoods would have like books set out for like you need to go here first and then over here, and so there used to be garrison books set up in all the neighborhoods. So visitors come in, walk through the doors, beetles check for books, and they walk down the hall into the key room, get a key, link out. Talking about a warehouse, key maintenance equipment, and variety of spare parts. Beetle cages, convenient cave-in. Not sure how one is supposed to get in the beetle cages without it. No idea how they did it. Link, maybe. Regardless, pretty positive the cages were for beetles. So they had they used beetles like drug sniffing dogs for linking books in your pockets. Second floor destruction was a little more substantial than I thought. Second floor looks similar to the first. There's a guard lounge next to the observation room, at least that's what I assume it was. Guard lockers, there's a gear room. Now I know why the floor was so secure. Looks like the whole power structure for this building is here. Oh, gear room, as in the room with the gear, not a room full of equipment for the guards. They're talking about creatures. These things are something out of a horror movie. I've been up here a little while, and I don't see them often, but when I do, they are scaring me to death. I'm beginning to understand the fences and structures a little better. Perhaps some of them were designed to keep creatures out more than keep visitors in. Don't hang out in these woods unless you have a big gun. I don't know if it's possible to see those creatures. I know you can hear them sometimes, but I've never seen one. There's a mud room. There's a training center, which is with the wall, right? There are 3 kinds of rooms in the building, 2 of each kind. There's a control room, 1 purple and yellow, a display room, 1 purple and yellow, and then a conference room. Though these aren't colored, I assume there is 1 for each team. There's a control room. It's for testing and training various suits. And you could like change the central room can get pretty hot, cold, smoky, or anything else I can imagine. Display rooms, so you could watch the teams, no doubt. Conference rooms. I'm not going up now, but we do know the upper portions were used as prison cells. Typical Dunny technology. They all had a single linking book that went to all the cells. Since the building was always rotating, a very complicated linking apparatus and timing mechanism was associated with the book. The timing of the link would determine which cell the person linked into. Apparently, it was very tight. So that's kind of going into the theory that when you wrote a linking book, it's like anchored to the spot where you... Okay, so here's a bit of linking theory. So when you first link to an age, you've got a big, thick, giant book. It's called the descriptive book, and that's your first link into the age. So you use that, you link to the age, and that's kind of like your linking hub. That's the first spot that you link into. You can also write linking books, and wherever you write the linking book and finish it, that is the point in space that you will link to in the future. So if you wrote a linking book inside a building that was rotating, the book would link to that same space, the same spatial coordinates, but the building would be turning. So if you didn't time it right, you would end up inside of a wall, just like transporters. And that's it. I think that's it. Speaking of linking, the entire building is rotating as well. It seems that most visitors came in on the path from the well, although there are also books linking directly to this building. I got the fingers. I swear there was more to do. But perhaps not? Well, that's another observation room. Here's a suit up room. There's a suit. I don't remember. Where or how? I thought there was a ladder somewhere that would let you climb up to the area where you could like draw the bumpers on the wall. But I can't find it. Not crazy, am I? I'm not just missing it. So this is the door on the way out. There's a lot of wasted space. And then this would be a conference room. Nope, not a conference room. This is the embarkation room, and then the secret tunnel to their observation room. Then that's a door out. Then walking all the way down here. This will be the conference room. Yes. I think this is a different conference room. The key. The key had 3 core functions: the Nexus interface, interpersonal communication. Oh. The dummy number 3 on the back of this device may indicate 3 functions, 3 core functions. There are more than 3 functions listed here. That's what threw me off. So Nexus interface, interpersonal communication, image capture, storage and transfer, journal entry, storage and transfer, markers, and doors. There is much more variety to these devices than we first suspected. Then we first suspected? The dispenser is capable of handing out at least 5 versions and possibly more. The imager built into the unit is surprisingly compact, uses the same blasted lattice compression system, for lack of a better word. Perhaps as a the markers may have been a training tool for maintainers. They'd set up markers and then run the course. Oh, yeah, that's right. You could set up key marker, like... You could set up marker coordinates like a racetrack. And I'm not sure how you would... I remember doing a few. And I don't know if people just, like, sent you, like, courses, or you just had to... I don't remember how that worked. Keys interact with markers in 3 ways. Team capture. Once all the markers are placed, there are 2 teams that can collect markers. The key registers the marker to the respective team. Markers can vanish after a time limit or after all have been registered. Hold. Again, 2 teams. Markers only vanish after a preset time limit has expired. Markers do not disappear upon being activated, although server keeps track of what team is holding it. So, like King of the Hill style. And single capture. Only 1 individual key can register markers. Markers also carry text. Entire marker set can be sent via key to another key anywhere in the system. Markers can be placed in any age. Markers themselves seem identical to those produced by the Great Zero. Key registration. You can have intra-age tracking. Any other key within the age is logged and displayed. Key to key. Any individual key can be registered for specific tracking, aka friends list. So this is basically like the in-world, in-character explanation for the key device, which was used as your social panel, essentially. And groups, aka guilds. The key also recognizes groups, somehow related to the Nexus. Seems possible, if properly configured, to support neighborhood lists. Oh! Ah, that's a tablet. A tablet. A city... location overlooking ae'gura's arch. Wait, it's Kareth's arch, isn't it? Oh, yoink! I see no arch. The book, the stone lied to me. I don't even see the arch from here. Alright, going back. I guess I'll keep my maintainer suit on. I can't zoom in. That's as good a look as we're gonna get. There we go. Step into the light. Look, he's got a pocket for a book. Yeah, I guess it's kind of a hazard suit. Yeah. Kind of a personal hazard suit. They were using them as a, I'm going to link back into it. There is a bigger one hanging up. There's like a big kind of like mech suit kind of deal, which is for your heavy duty. I may be linking into the middle of a sun suit, and then there's the middle suit, like the personal suit. I still want to see if I can find the control panel for putting bumpers on the wall. But I doubt it. Yeah, so this guy, this is the biggin. Oh. I'm getting like multiple bleeps. Thank you for the raid. I'm just getting lost and running around in circles in Garrison. I'm trying to find the control panel room, but I don't think it's in Complete Chronicles. Alright, I'm out of here. Oh. Of course, I thought that suspiciously looked like a door. Alright, so the great big fun with leaving this age is, which direction is this bridge pointing when we leave? Because there's almost, say you run out and you just missed the jump. There's no point in running back inside to wait for the next, or to kind of... Oh, man. What did I say about just missing the jump? There's like... Okay, let's see if I can... I've tried doing this before, and it's almost not worth it to try to run through the building again. I don't think I can get that bridge. Get inside! Okay. So, definitely no, we can't, if we run out this next bridge, we will probably miss it again. So, skip this one and go to the next opposite side of the building. What's a action shot? Please. 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 Did we miss it? It's coming up. Oh my gosh, we might not make it still. Well, that doesn't give me a... Oh! No, don't stop, rock... Oh! I heard the T-Rex. Okay. So again, I've never seen the creature. I've heard it, but I've never seen it. One of the journals mentioned something about they were like describing the look out here, and then they were freaking out about a creature in the woods. All right. This is probably a lot less painful with an SSD. But missing these jumps to get down here, back in the day, on laggy servers even, not fun. Jump! Made it. Now we get to hear a speech. I need a drink. Look, it's fine. I was wearing my personal hazard suit with reinforced legs.
You return again. Return to hear more. Return for a third pillar.
Not by choice.
It's an interesting cycle, this coming and going, giving and taking. Returning is what you must do. For you have torn in half the very being of one of the least. You have heard their pain. Don't falter.
So she's talking like...
Let me tell you of King Karath. Dare I speak ill of him? One of the great kings, but yet he was the maker of the proud. For it was his system of guilds that served as the foundation of power and corruption. The powerful need control, fortresses and garrisons to guard their power. And soon the guarding is yet another thing to be proud of. Layers within layers built to preserve their ages and their pride from the weak and least who might attack from without. And yet it is from within that most nations fall. And so the mighty garrisons of Denis now stand vacant.
I don't know which one.
The people of Denis didn't return easily. They only would take until all was taken from them in the Great Returning. The fall that destroyed them. Denis fell only a few hundred years ago. All of it was removed. And my journey was similar. I could write things that no Denis had ever dreamed of. My writing smashed barriers held as absolutes for millennia. I could change things, I could move things. I could control things. I learned beyond my parents, I learned beyond all. I wrote ages against any challengers, masters of the art, and they were beaten. I took all that I could hold. Only death can conquer pride so strong. For the Denis and for Yusha, it was death that moved me to return.
Is she saying she's dead?
All but the least. The unproud. The Bahro considered themselves as dead already. And so they continued to watch Denis, always ready to give more away. And now they will return.
Are you done? Is the light off? Yes. So she's all like, "Oh, you're back. Isn't that interesting?" And it's like, I don't have a choice, lady. Whee! I'm still wearing the hazard suit. I have 3 of 4 borrow pillars. The last age. Is a 2 for 1. And also almost entirely made of jumping puzzles. Oh boy. Okay. So I remember needing to cover the steam vents. And then what that does is it slowly makes the remaining steam vents more and more powerful. And you have to rocket jump up onto this ledge. I think it's just the one ledge. Jump! Aha! Just, bamboo coverings. Whoa, I almost, like... I got vertigo there for a second. I'm gonna get lost. Raid 10 minutes late. It's a raid! Hello? Hello, hello. Welcome to my little corner. So this is like the second time you've raided me playing Myst games. Oh. It doesn't tell me that. I set it to that because I had spammers a while ago, but whoops. Whoops. Remove. Whoops. Nobody told me. It should be off now. Okay, that's a lesson learned. It made it sound like I turned it on because I had like a follow bot spamming me early one day. And I turned it on and I thought it would shut off in 10 minutes. Whoops. Oh, there's a steam vent. I forget the trick. I know not to run and jump, otherwise you fling yourself into the lava pit. Do I just... Ah! It's going all right. What were you playing earlier? Yeah, I'm trying to do... Can I make it? I made it! Yeah! I'm trying to do all of the Myst games in chronological order by release date. So after this, whenever this is finished, because I recall Path of the Shell taking a while. But it'll be Myst 4 after this, and then Myst 5. And I think... this is the last platform, and it should rocket jump me up. Yay! Journey cloth. Oh. I've heard of quern. Kern? Quern? Oops. Ah, there it is. Is it any good? Because I'm kind of looking for puzzle games that aren't like quirky. Like puzzles that make kind of a little bit of logical sense. Like Portal, I suppose. Boop. So if you like accidentally cover up all of the steam vents all at the same time, I think they all like explode open and you have to restart. And I don't want to do that. Well, I've looked it up. I should put it to my wish list so I don't forget. Ah, even the Steam reviews kind of equate it to abduction, which is interesting. Yay! See? This is like jumping puzzles the age. And I really hope I didn't miss a journey cloth. Is there one back here? No. I've only touched one so far. Oh, Eder camo. There used to be a way, so you've got like lantern torch things that you can light up. And it used to be that you could kind of brute force it. So there's like lanterns scattered up in this tunnel, but it's literally pitch black. And you have to bring a source of light up in here. But of course you can't like bring a Zippo or anything like that. But I believe in Myst, like the online version, they patched it so the lanterns are like disabled if you don't have a light source. Kind of search. Okay. Oh. Oh. All right, I remember this part. I'm trying to... So, okay, I will say, I'm just gonna spoil it. So the key to... Oh, there's like a fishy. The trick to this age is you gotta go find a source of light. The only source of light, I mean, because you can't bring a torch with you. Oh, can't bring a torch with you. So the only source of light is some fireflies in this age, which is kind of a neighborhood garden age. And you can't run with them, and you can only jump once with them. So The age is literally a jumping puzzle. It's a puzzle of jumping. And you've got creepy, spooky, kind of half spiders hanging on the... Myst protagonists are... My English... The English centers of my brain are, like, fried today. Myst protagonists are notoriously weak. They can't even hold more than one page at a time. I've got your page! What I'm trying to remember is, like, I think these didn't officially have a name. And I think at the time, the Myst fandom just dubbed these... I know the word. Is it Keanu Lents? As in, like, they named it after Keanu Reeves for some reason that I don't remember. But it's Keanu Lents. Why, I don't know, but it was one of those things. Someone made a joke and then it stuck. Oh, there's a journey cloth. Oh, gosh. Whoa. It's a plant. She's got these... I've already got that cloth. There's the door. This age rains, doesn't it? Oh no, and the rain, like, chases away the bugs. This age is a pain in the butt. Oh. I thought there was a journey cloth back here. This is a tablet. Need the tablets. I believe I need to collect all the tablets for Path of the Shell eventually. Because in all these weird little places are markers. I'm choking on air. All right. Have a good night. Have a good sleep. Thanks for stopping by. And thanks for telling me about the stupid followers only mode. I'm kind of upset about that because I did that like 2 weeks ago. Anyway, have a good night. Just running back and forth. I could have sworn there was a key, like a marker up here. Also, this was another one of those, like, this is kind of a balcony in somebody's neighborhood. And before they patched it, I feel like this was another kind of, you could, like, glitch jump and sneak into somebody's neighborhood even if it was locked in the Nexus. Of course, when you do that, people get loud and angry, so it was patched pretty quick. Still, it was funny while it lasted. I may or may not have been part of the groups that, like, would leap into random neighborhoods. Yep. Then I don't know if they ever patched it out, but you would still be able to link into the balconies, and you couldn't jump down into the neighborhood. But you could still yell at them. Like, I think the key had it didn't have a whisper, but it had, well, it had like a tell. You could direct message, you could say to the general area, and then you could shout to the whole age. So it was fun to shout from the neighborhood balconies. I think I kind of remember how you could do that, though. So if you belonged to a neighborhood, the balcony would take you to your neighborhood. But the thing with neighborhoods is you could go up and you could leave the neighborhood that you were in, and then if you went to a balcony and you were not part of a neighborhood, that's when it would pick like a random one to hop you into. So, those were good days. I'm just running around looking for cloths. Is there something up here? Nope, there's a book. The Showmot story. I don't want to read this. Do I want to read this? It's like a parable. And I'm reading the end here, and it says, "And Showmot ordered the Grand Master to change his garden age so that those who lived there would die. And Kenry obeyed the king even though he knew it was wrong, and his life was filled with turmoil until he died. But Showmot, though he did what was wrong, continued to live and pursue all that he wanted." I'll try to read the things that are kind of, like, pertinent. But, if I stop to read, like, every storybook, there's a lot. Especially when it comes to, like, the old dunny folks. Okay. I think I have all the cloths. So you walk up into the fireflies and oh, well, it's raining and they're gonna leave, so they're gone. I have to wait until it stops raining. No progression until the rain stops and I can collect the bugs. Kind of keeping my eye out for another. I feel like I have a couple fingers left of the journeys to collect. Isn't there like a pagoda? Oh, there it is. Aha! I knew there was one around here somewhere. Oh, gosh. 3 more. Okay. Bug. No. No pagoda. These bugs are going crazy. I think I saw these on Stargate SG-1 once. Are they floating around me still? Yes. Okay. So now I have a light source. You know, even though I'm wearing a maintainer suit, I guess it doesn't have a light source or night vision. Can't run. So Say it with me. And we're walking. Yeah, the evil zap bugs in SG-1. These are just fireflies, though. No evil zapping, probably. I think. They are also allergic to water, I might add. So, here's the thing, right? The upstairs caves behind the waterfall. Oh, nuts. I've already screwed it up. See, I can jump once. I might be able to hobble across here without getting my feet wet. I did it. So if I jumped again or touched the water, the bugs would vanish and I have to go back to the other age. Hope it's not raining. I can't see a thing. There is a light source here. Voila. What's this? Oh. Okay, well, the bugs are gone now. I have all of the y'all things. Jumping puzzle pieces. Yay! Need I remind you that physics engines were a new thing? Get off the edge! Get off! Okay. Oh, there's a tablet. Suddenly tablet. Okay. Here's the plan. This needs 2 wicker basket things here. 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 And hope that it doesn't bug out when I walk across them. And a bridge here. So you link in with the bugs, you walk across this. Okay. Borrow tablet. I need a drink. Oh. Behold, Dakota Alley. I mean, not alley. Dakota Alley is down on the ground. This is actually Dakota, the base of DRC operations. I'll take a hard hat. Fancy. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 + 2 = 4. 3 think that was a palace. King Reenref. Aha! I'll actually read this, actually. Because Reenref, he is the guy who wrote the Book of Earth. So let us read his story, because I'm interested. I don't remember. So Reenref was born 207 BE, which is before Earth, on Garterne, which is the home world. He was accepted into the Guild of Writers at the age of 5, a standard age, and as the years passed, quickly became one of the finest writers that the Rhone had ever seen. So the Rhone is what Dunny and the other faction used to call themselves. Certain records go as far as stating that Reenref was unsurpassed in skill by any other writer of the day by the time he was, it's either 10 or 90. 90? Well, yeah. Reenref had achieved the rank of Guildmaster, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say he was 90, not 10. And was well on his way to become the Grandmaster. However, due to personal convictions, he never achieved that rank. Reenref had long been a challenger of the views of the Guild of Writers, as well as the king himself. Reenref was apparently very concerned with the society's views pertaining to the purpose of writing and the challenge of acting responsibly with the great gift given to us by Yavo, which is their name for the creator. Around 73 BE, Reenref was asked by the Grand Master to write a descriptive book to a questionable age, at least in the eyes of Reenref. He perceived the age being used to house an uncivilized race that could be used for the purposes of the Rhone. Thus, Reenref refused to carry out the command from his Grandmaster, and after much debating was apparently dismissed from the Guild of Writers. Some records do point to Reenref willfully excusing himself from the guild, although regardless of how he left, much of society found the dismissal unfair, and some even went so far as to call it detrimental to society. Around 59 BE, the fact that Garderne would not be able to serve the Rhone as a home for much longer was confirmed and the information made public. Reenref had long known of the state of Garterne, and from the time of his dismissal had apparently been working on an age that he felt to be a good place to live for those who wished to follow him. According to various journals, Reenref managed to attract a few thousand Rhone and convince them to follow him in the ways that he felt important and to the age that he had written. The king allowed Reenref to split away from the Rhone, along with a few other smaller groups, while the majority of Rhone left Garderne to a new home world called Terrani. And that is the name of the place that they found in one of the books, Terrani. Reenref took his group to Earth, where he established the Dunny, meaning new beginning. Reenref was a strong leader, immediately establishing himself as king and reigning for 120 years until his death. Obviously, those who followed Reenref to Dunny already respected him enough to separate themselves from their family and friends, and thus records point to very few debates or disagreements within the society under the reign of Reenref. As had always been the case with the Rhone, a group of survivors was sent to surveyors was sent to Dunny before the group officially moved there and established the Great Zero and the line emanating from it. A monument was built on the Great Zero in the year 0 DE. Unlike previous occasions, Reenref established the line of the Great Zero as set apart for holy buildings. Without authorization by the reigning king, construction was forbidden. I don't quite understand that. Probably because they don't know what the line of the Great Zero was. So, unlike previous occasions, Rinaref established the line of the Great Zero as set apart for holy buildings. Okay, so like... Okay, whatever... Because if you look at the Great Zero and the map of the Great Zero, there's like all the different, you know... I don't know what you'd call it on an actual map, but, you know, all the degree lines. Though it's never stated directly, records strongly imply that it was Rinaref who chose where the city would be established. He seemed to base his decision on two factors, which probably made the decision an easy one. First was the line of the Great Zero. It seemed an obvious spot to base the city, with the most important religious structures being directly on the line and the rest of the city is surrounding its center. The second factor was a group of waterfalls that flowed from the ceiling of the cavern to an area adjacent to the line of the Great Zero. The fresh flowing water was perfect for drinking. A new writers' guild, with fairly different rules than the one that had existed on Gardernay, was constructed almost immediately, 8 DE, under the direction of Rinaref. By the year 100 DE, Rinaref had directed the recreation of the 18 major guilds. The guilds were dedicated to Yavo on the Day of the Circle, a celebration not only of the completion of the major guilds, but a celebration of new guilds, which Rinaref believed were healthier than those that had existed in Gardernay. Guilds that have been established to please Yavo and not themselves. Certain records point to the guilds on Gardernay becoming extremely competitive with one another and focusing more upon the best facility than carrying out their duty to Yavo and the people. In an effort to curb that kind of competition, Rinaref implemented a list of restrictions upon guild construction. The restrictions included guidelines pertaining to placement, facing the Great Zero, size, shape, and minor visual guidelines. Though one of Rinaref's top priorities was construction of a temple, there were disagreements as to specifics, causing numerous delays in the finalization of construction plans. Eventually, construction was started in 48 DE, and the temple was completed in 63 DE, known as... the Regel Tavokum? So Re, R-E, is like the. So known as the. So it's a double the. Anyway, that's a dunny word. The temple to Yavo was meant as a place of worship as well as a remainder of the prophesied great king who would come to them soon. Rinaref also made it a priority to install massive fans that would supply the cavern with fresh air. Natural openings existed, but it was quickly discovered that they did not supply ample circulation for the cavern. As a result, massive shafts and fans were built and installed over a 30-year period between 84 and 114 DE. As an aside, it was the big fan, so the city had basically a life support circulation system, which is what made it easy for the whole city to just be gassed. It should be noted that numerous records point to a small group of Dunny disappearing upon completion of the fans. It is most often assumed that they remained on the surface of Earth to live. Throughout his reign, records point to multiple occasions on which Rinaref refused to build a palace for himself. Instead, he lived in a fairly basic home, similar in fashion to most of his fellow citizens, and made it especially clear that until Yavo had a new home, he could not allow himself one. Although, even after the temple was completed, Rinaref refused to build a palace, always focusing more on the religious and government sites. Rinaref's own philosophy centered on the fact that it was much easier to focus on Yavo and his wishes when circumstances were difficult and struggles more abundant. It was strongly believed that Rinaref's refusal to build a palace was an expression of that philosophy. In 120 DE, Rinaref died of apparent heart complications. He was 327 years old. Though he married, he left no children. As a result, he chose one of his apprentices named Aelish to succeed him. Oh, and here's footnotes, but each one of them has a star instead of, like, proper references. So taken from the memoirs of Aelish, from the Oath of the New Guild of Writers written by Rinaref, taken from the journals of the Grandmaster Najun of the Guild of Legislators. Oh, great. A whole guild of law writers. Gardernay's sun was dying and would eventually cause a rapid decrease in temperature, making it an uninhabitable age. Wait. It doesn't say uninhabitable. My brain automatically said that. They just say making it an inhabitable age. Is this one of those things where it's like flammable and inflammable? So is habitable and inhabitable? Like if something is inhabited, that means there's people there. So if you have an inhabitable place, that means it's livable. But in is also like a negation, so it is a not habitable age. A rapid decrease in temperature making it an unlivable age. The Great Zero itself was usually based on a prominent natural landmark within an age. From the Great Zero, a line was drawn usually toward magnetic north to aid in navigation, construction, etc. So there you go. That's the Great Zero line. Should be noted that the 18 major guilds of Dunny were not necessarily the same as the 18 that had existed on Gardernay. In is not a negation in all languages, so it depends on where the root comes from. Yeah. English being the melting pot of languages. But yeah. They mean this, obviously they mean the sun is dying, so the age could not be lived in anymore. In fact, the 18 major guilds were probably much different. Though there was no information that details the major guilds of Gardernay, we do know that the guilds were meant to be flexible and serve the people in the needs of their time. Taken from the transcript of Draenaref's speech, the prophetical work of Rigeltavok of Orpa, a book Rinaref believed strongly in, dealt with numerous prophecies of a great king who would be sent by Yavo to guide the people. So these are like just more books about people. Kings and things. What's this? King Aelish. Nope, I didn't mean to open it. Put it down. What's this? King Esimlef? King Nagan. Yisha mentioned Mr. Nagan. Hey, check it out. This frisbee thing? Oh, the manhole. Dunny marriage. Dunny maturity. Dunny pregnancy. Dunny class system. Okay, so I'm gonna like pick and choose the things that are like novel compatible, and then you can choose to read or ignore the other things as you see fit. So here's like the original reason why Dunny was unstable. So it seems as though my first inclination toward class structure was incorrect. Though early on there was little in the way of class society, such a high ideal faded quickly. By 9400 DE, there were 7 very distinct classes. You had the elite, which were the lords and grandmasters of the major guilds. It was possible for private citizens to be accepted, but if so, abundant resources were needed. It was only the elite who owned private libraries of books and the private islands. quite a few obvious attempts to reach out and unify the classes, although I'm not sure it did much good. Common libraries, major guild scholarships, renovation of poorer districts, and all seemed more political than life-changing. Not surprising, I suppose. Guild members. Yes, it was possible for the lower classes to attend, but it seems by the end the schools were far too expensive and prestigious to allow for such. As a result, the graduates became a class among themselves, and a very high one at that. The upper class, the lowest of the three higher classes, such citizens had succeeded in private enterprise and most likely provide the elite with their banks, pubs, etc. No major guild education for the most part, but enough money to buy their way into the upper classes. The middle class, mostly shop owners and the like, able to afford some luxuries of dunny but still considered far from the elite, rare but possible for them to own books as well as private ages, seemed to make up most of the minor guild enrollment. The high poor, which is the higher class of the poor, seemed to be made mostly of industrial workers, many of whom spent their time on foreign ages, before it was outlawed, of course. I don't remember that. It seems that this class, along with the lower two, did not own books. The low poor, I can't seem to find a better name for them, however. Seems clear that there are two classes of poor. These low poor were relegated to their own districts and rarely seen even with the middle class and never with the upper class. Possibly used as servants, although that was generally looked down upon. And then they mention, like, there's a reference to the least are found on rare occasions, not enough data to elucidate. So, Yisha will say that the least are, the borrow. Check this out. I know the DRC doesn't want us to touch these, but I bet Watson would like to know how these register with the doors. Makes no sense, and don't lose it. I could barely get it off the wall, and when I did, it was pretty scary. Maybe the weirdest thing is that when I went back later, the cloth I got this piece from was intact again. Nick. Pretty scary. How scary is it to, like, rip a cloth off the wall? King Karath. So Karath is the king who made the big arch in the harbor, colloquially known as Karath's Arch. Where the heck is my book, and why did someone take it in the first place? Nick. And translations about the kings and stuff. A lunch bag. Ew. Oh, as I was saying, this, I actually have, this. Or maybe I don't have the one from 2000 exactly. No, I don't have the one from 2000. But Mysterium is the Myst convention. I think it's still going. I think there was one this year. It was online only, of course. Hold on a second. I have my Myst box over here. Well, there you go. I went to one Myst convention. It was in Canada. Voila. 2004. Mysterium 2004, Toronto. So Cyan kind of has a thing with disc golf. So that's why they have Myst convention discs. Big old heavy rubber. What are they called? I forget what they're called exactly. They call it disc golf. I mean, they're not frisbees. Frisbees is kind of the brand name of people who make the same similar kind of thing. I mean, it's just called disc. A champion disc is what this was called. Anyway. Why am I up here? got a helmet. Can I take this helmet? Must already have it. Oh! Ooh. Yoink! Marker. The original Frisbee was a pie tin. Students started tossing around the Frisbee brand pie tin and it stuck. Oh, right. I need to go back and get the bugs. The bugs! Let me guess, it's storming. Not yet. Quick, get the bug. Where are you, bug? There you are. Just slowly approach. Slowly approach. Okay. So in the book, they were talking about like the lower classes didn't have access to ages. The novels, I thought, at least from memory, they had access to common ages. I don't know what makes them want to follow you. I think you're a heat source. I think that's what the in-game explanation is. But they don't like you enough to get wet, so... I don't even know how you would go about, like, discovering that this is how to do it. Oh, no! Also, steam vents make them go away, so I almost... So it's a bit of a jerk move to, like, link you into the world right in front of a steam vent. Okay. We successfully navigated the water the first time. And didn't bug out. So, what I really wonder is how you got all the fireflies to touch the linking book as well. Yes. There are many, out of all the ages, this one has the most problems. I believe the theory, and as you well know, linking theory is banned in most places because it causes people to be grumpy. I believe the theory is that when you link, you kind of have a field around you, I guess like a subspace field around you, and they link with you. But I think that's hogwash, and they just didn't care. I think anything you're holding on to, anything you are touching when you link, goes with you, but these fireflies are clearly not touching you. Okay, well, I'm missing 2 cloths. And I have absolutely no idea where they are. I suddenly remember where one is. There is one right there up on this ledge. I shall show you. Right there. But that doesn't help me. Missing 2. Jump! Now here's a bit of a trick. So, in this engine, the physics of this game, when you fall from a height, you'll, like, stumble forward a step. So, you want to backwards off this ledge, so when you stumble forward, it's not off the edge. Because it happens. Right, well, I'm still missing 1. Well, I'm gonna die. Ah! Oh boy. Where's the other journey? So we got that one. Because we had to do a leap. We had to do a leap of faith. My subconscious is telling me I'm probably missing it in the Garden Age. And not this Desert Age. So I got that cloth. Ran around up here, around here. We're coming down here. Got that cloth. Oh, portals and their conservation of momentum. I'm actually not sure about that. I mean, clearly not, because if you're falling off a cliff and you link to Relto, you're gonna hit the ground at the same speed. Unless, of course, it doesn't. So there's nothing down there. I know if you jump off of the edge there, you'll panic Link. Is there a cloth here? No. I believe there's no cloth here. Is there one in here? No, but I think there's one in here. No? So then you come up through this path with the bugs. You jump across this, you come into here, and then there is one. I've already touched that, but for the sake of completion, I'll touch it again. Leap! Leap into the rib cage of your doom. I like the little touch there. You show up in this age with your hand out like you had just got done touching the book. Is there a cloth here? Like, is there one in here that I just run past? No. No? Alright. Let's start scavenging and not get our head eaten by a head crab. Oh. Is there? Nope. I keep getting like little inkling ideas of, oh, I need to check here. I've already touched this one. I think I've already touched this one. Yep. Double check the gazebo. No, nothing around here. Nothing around here. There's the borrow door. Won't open. I feel like there's one, like, kind of out in the open, but you won't see it. You know, it's kind of like one of those hidden in plain sight kind of deals. And I don't know. I mean, I could have sworn it was back here, but this is a tablet, not a cloth. Hey, wait a second. My shoes are different. Oh. Oh. I think maybe there's one up here. Oh, I found it. I found it! I was expecting to, like, go this path all the way up, but nope, it's right here. Okay. Oh, found it. I think that's 4 of 4 original ages beyond Myst. I am going to touch this cloth because the last cloth you touch is the one you'll link to in the bookmark on your bookshelf. And you will see in a moment why that's vitally important that you keep the bookmark closest to the door.
Many stories were there for the Denis to learn from, but they didn't hear them. The ancient tales of Tuat's Ocean, or of course the story of King Shomat and his brothers,
I
which
feel
even
like
speaks
making
of
wide
gardens
sweeping
and death.
generalizations about the whole
But no one
city
truly
is
listened.
like
The
almost as
garden
bad.
ages of the proud are beautiful, but they are built on the backs of the least. The ages like Chemo and Gira are a sampling of the playthings of Denis. With disregard, the least were stripped from their homes. The lives in those ages were consumed, and the Denis gave nothing back. And whatever is not given back will be taken. The journeys are complete. Now take the final pillar. Take it, but hear all I've said. It's the whispers and murmurs that reveal the simple truths. You hold the precious soul of a Barrow in your age, in your hand. Such things are not meant to be held.
So why did you give it to me?
Do what I do. I have learned things, seen things, written things they never thought possible. I have seen the real treasures that are protected by the petty fences of their rules. I have found the precious gold buried deep beneath the weighty mountains of their laws. This is my journey too. I am returning what has been given.
She's seen things.
These years I've spent, this path I've traveled, this gift I've been given, this purpose weighs on me. My burden, the legacy of my father, Ae'gura. For we are shaping Denis. We will mold what comes after. We cannot keep the power and the pride from ruining this new Denis, but we can prepare those who will read between the lines. The least are returning. The stream in the cleft is returning. Life is returning. The fissure is returning. The circle will be completed when you give back what you have taken. You must return.
You told me to take it. So she says all of the, she like tells you to do all of this stuff, like, you know, touch the hand thing, take the pillar. The very first one, she's like, take it and put it on your age. And then the very last one, she's like, you need to give back what you have taken. It's like, excuse me? You can't tell someone to take something and then blame them for it. And that's like one of many issues I have with Yisha as a whole. You just realized one of the fan-made maps for Jedi Academy was Uru. Like all of them in one with teleports between them. I don't remember that. I don't think I ever played that. I'd probably recognize the name of whoever did make it. I know they recreated the city in Second Life. You know, like the ferry terminal and the courtyard and the Dakota rooftop and everything. Alright, so there's these symbols on the floor here. Yeah, now I want to look it up. See if it's still floating around out there. So, I was not, like, the only one who was iffy on, like, what Yisha was telling us. And I know some people, well, I don't know them personally, but I knew people who, like, kept the pillars on their island as kind of an act of defiance. Like, you're not going to tell me what to do. If this is a Barrow soul, I'm going to keep it here, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Do I touch this now? Of course, when you're playing offline, I mean, I guess I could keep these here if I really wanted to. Nothing's stopping me from going to Path of the Shell, but okay. Oh. Okay. Yes, a glowing handprint. Yay. Alright, so Yisha is all, you got it. Okay, so when you finish End of Ages, you get this book. So the people who don't finish never get this book. And that book is kind of neat to have, I guess, just for being a completionist. Alright, so you want to bookmark the journey cloth closest to the borrow door on all the ages, so you don't have to redo the whole age to send the pillars back. So here, I don't have my maintainer hazard suit on anymore, but I'm going to jump and break my legs. I mean, superhuman leap. I need to write down, I think. So there are symbols on the floor, right? And I need to write them all down and, like, make sure that I have them mapped to the correct age. Alright. Touch a thing. Here's your stupid borrow soul fragment back. Oh. Well, that's the lake. That's the city lake, the cavern lake. It's not jumping into the star fissure anymore. Oh. I forgot this part. Suspicious fissure crack. All right. Teledon. I bookmarked the shroomy location. Let's go see if we can see our favorite mushroom eating sea creature. Shroomy. This is the wrong way. I'm stuck. Okay. It's feeding time. Honk honk. Hey, there she is, way out there. Bye. Barodor. Gonna go a little over, but we're like this close to being done. So this was Teledon. Jump. Ooh. A fissure flash. I have my symbols out of alignment, actually. These are swapped. Oh. I realize you can't really hear me when I'm, like, turned away from the microphone, so... Reps. Alright. Here's the big one. I think I left the bookmark in the vault in Kadesh. Because this would be a real bummer if I had to redo all this. Okay, good. This way? Yes. Whee! Whoa, whoa, the mouse glitched. Of course it did. Chirp, chirp. K-ish? Okay, I've labeled that already. Okay, take your third soul fragment. I don't know quite how to read this. So this is on the top. You know what? Doesn't really matter. Stop breaking my relto! A bit of a camera glitch. If I'm in first-person mode and I link to an age, or particularly the if I use the bookmark to go to a journey cloth, the game puts me in third-person mode without my avatar. Okay. Yeah, so it's this one, and then the eyeball, and then the fishy one, the fishy square one, and then on the left is the kind of Celtic looking thing. All right, well, let's see if I got all my notes. Dun dun dun. I also know people who would get to this point and then leave this in their relto forever and ever. I'm gonna kick a rock in there. How about that? Whee! I remember doing this once before. Okay. So if you thought Uru was weird up to this point, I will go to the cleft. What's that sign say? Oh, just danger. Danger! Keep out! We've come full circle. And I forgot to put my leather jacket back on. So if a starfisher in any age leads to this same point in New Mexico, why isn't there a lot more junk here? Magic. Okay, so, I mean, technically, so that's like kind of one of many reasons why I don't really like Uru. It's because they kind of magicked up some stuff. So, originally, of course, I'm pulling out of the novels, so sue me if it's canon-ish. The Starfisher on Riven was because of what Catherine wrote into Riven to help escape. So Catherine and Atris's grandmother cooked up a plan because they knew Atris was going to show down with Gin at some point. So they were like, well, we'd better come up with a plan so he doesn't get himself killed. So, Catherine was an age writer who, like, could think up, like, really just fantasy things to do with ages, and she was responsible for writing the Star Fissure into Riven. And that was it. And the fissure was just kind of like a world between worlds, and it just so happened that it, the Myst book landed somewhere. And that was all we really know. So now, all of a sudden, other ages can have fissures. Like Yisha put a fissure on our island, and now it goes back to New Mexico, like specifically New Mexico. And they just kind of like defined some things that I think were probably better left undefined. But, who am I to judge? So there was the squiggly pillar, the eyeball, the fish square, which I skipped over, this one, and, that, yeah, this should work. Nope. I missed it up. So it's the pillar. This fish. Wait, didn't I? I had it correct, didn't I? Am I, like, losing my mind? There.
An ending has been written. You've done all that has been asked. You've traveled the full circle. You have returned to the cleft through the fissure. You swam among the stars and saw the remnants of previous journeys. You have returned, and the pillars were returned. And now one more of the Barrow, the least, has been returned to Denis.
Well, because you told me to.
You don't understand what that means. Only that the hand of the Maker has set it in motion.
So here she just says, you don't know what that means, so just trust
now
me.
The circle is complete, and the tree has begun to grow again. The path is now open, and so the symbol of the journey must change. Now the beginning is tied to the end.
Oh,
now
path of the shell.
The restoration of Denis awaits. The deep city breathes. Uru again.
Uru.
I will be concerned with other things. The least are becoming greater. They will now also affect the restoration. Perhaps not the way others had planned. You've learned about the pride of Denis. The great writers of worlds were infected with pride that became a cancer. It grew quietly beneath the surface, but it grew until Denis could live no more. But those things have been told. You understand it well, I think. Let us
You told me I wouldn't understand.
With rewards before we start the next cycle. Relto, the High Place. Your age now. It was the first age I wrote, a gift from my parents, and now much more. It reminds me of another home, another place. I even placed the library in the place it belongs. But Relto will change. It will be your soul, showing what you are. Only I could write Relto. It's beyond what the Denis could accomplish. Keep it. And I've given you clothing that represents your journey. Wear this to show others what side you've taken, when sides are taken. When you wear it, you will tell all that you side with us. With Yisha, with the Barrow. It will not always be easy. And another gift is here, a link to the cleft here in Tomana. You haven't been able to return here, but now you can. This book will take a special place on your shelf. This place is not meant to be shared. Return here alone when you wish to remember the cycle of things.
Alright, so here's where it gets weird, right? Holographic book. Who's going to restore Dunny now? Isn't there nobody around? Yes. But this story arc, this particular arc, was before they left. Oh, I better not have to listen to that whole thing again. Oh no.
An ending has been written.
Ah!
All that has been asked. You've traveled the full circle. You have returned to the cleft through the fissure. You swam among the stars and saw the remnants of previous journeys.
So she's like, I'm going to stand over here.
Returned, and now one more of the barrow, the least, has been returned to Denis. You don't need to understand what that means. Only that the hand
So,
of the Maker has set it in
what
motion.
has transpired was we came to the cleft,
The circle is complete
and then we were told to follow the journeys and enter the tree by the guy out of the trailer.
is tied to the end.
And she tells us to take the pillars, and then she scolds us for taking the pillars and tells us to put them back. And now she's like, now one of the least have been returned, but you don't need to know what that means.
And I would be concerned with other things. The least are becoming greater. They will now also affect the restoration. Perhaps not the way others had planned.
There's nothing more than I like than running around and doing somebody's bidding and then being told, no, 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 you don't need to know what that means.
It grew quietly beneath the surface, but it grew until
Beep boop.
Denis could live no more. But those things have been told. You understand it well, I think.
Of course,
Let us
then
end
she
this
says,
cycle with rewards
you don't
before
need
we
to
start
understand
next.
what that means, but you do actually understand what that means.
Relto, the high place. Your age now. It was the first age I wrote a gift for my parents, and now much more.
She did call this place Tomana.
It reminds me of another home, another place. I even placed the library in the place it belongs. But Relto will change.
What if you wear a hard hat
Be
and a
your soul.
dunny or
showing what you
DRC?
are. Only I could write Relto. It's beyond
The
what
high
Denis could
place.
accomplish.
Look,
Keep it.
she means because it's an island in the
And I've given
sky.
you clothing that represents your journey. Wear this to show others what side you've taken, when sides are taken. When you wear it, you will tell all that you side with us. With Yisha, with the Barrow, it will not always be easy. And another gift is here, a link to the cleft here in Tomana.
Funny enough, you say, what if you wear a hard hat and a DRC shirt instead? I don't think that DRC jacket was actually available online.
Return here alone when you wish to remember the cycle of things.
Boop. I'll touch your holographic book. So, here's where it gets weird. We just linked to the age that we were already in.
Returning. One final gift. Something that no Denis writer has been able to do for more than 10,000 years. I alone can write this gift. I alone am chosen to do this and more.
And she's getting an awful
This
lot
gift
of
is what my father
only
Beatrice would have
I.
longed to give his grandmother Tiana. What Tiana longed for and danced for. The gift of life in the desert. Perhaps the ending has not yet been written.
I know what you did there. It is technically illegal. But what is eventually going to be established is that she is capable of changing ages she is in. So we have clearly gone from a kind of science-y approach to, there's a certain method of writing books and they're just like portals to other worlds, and now we are moving slowly and steadily into the realm of Now I can change the world like magic. Why? Because you're not meant to understand. Only I can do this. Oh, look, it's a pyro. Those are the Barrow. Or Barrow. And now here's the... Perhaps the ending has not yet been written. I'm gonna skip this because there's... music. Oh, that's it? That's it? Yeah, so those are the Barrow. They are what are referenced to as the least. So those are the creatures in the cages in Teledon. Those are supposedly the creatures that the Dunny have been enslaving the whole time. I don't know which books those come out in. Maybe it's in some of the Path of the Shell stuff. But apparently those Barrow creatures were in the cavern when they first showed up. You know, after they wrote the Book of Earth and they showed up to build the Great Zero and stuff, and the Barrow were already in the cave. But then the Dunny promptly subjugated them. I don't think there's anything in particular to do here. So I'm just gonna go back. I think that's it. That's End of Ages. I mean, not End of Ages. That's Myst 5. This is Ages Beyond Myst. Oh, it's raining. That's the book she gave me. I mean, the page. She gave me rain. Woo! So it's like, I'm not opposed to having, like... They're like some kind of buggy insect people. It's like, I'm not opposed to that part of it. I'm just opposed to making Dunny the bad guy. Yeah, it was a single-use starfisher. Why? I don't know. She wanted to make a point, I guess. They really wanted to drive the point home that she can modify ages. And there, see, now my book is filled out. I can go to the rainy cleft or the sunshiny cleft. The Nexus is unlocked. So all these ages are finished. I must have just done... Alright, so the handprint books are End of Ages, aka Uru Prime, aka Uru Prologue. These are the first ages that came out. And these books were available online because they were like the city books. These are like the social ages. And these were patched in to your single-player game once Ubisoft pulled the plug. And then this is the actual expansion, the Path of the Shell books. So I'm going to check this out real quick, because I don't remember what this age is. It's like the start of the Path of the... The start of the Path of the Shell. Yes, Path of the Heck. The Sheck. Heck. I like Path of the Heck. Oh, okay. I kind of am. I'm getting... The vibes are returning. Now that I see this, the Dunny kind of had a concept of a tree when they talked about ages. So they talk about a thing called the Great Tree, which is, I guess, is kind of like, you know, Norse mythology kind of thing. So there's a tree that is the universe, and all the different branches of the tree are all the different ages that you can link to. And they kind of turned it into something of a religion, I guess. Which I think is a bit much. I like the concept of the tree for explaining ages, but then they kind of... I push a button. Well, there's clocks. One, 4. This is the box art, I believe. So, End of Ages was weird. Did not like how it ended at all. The ages were kind of fun to play, except for ae'gura and Chemo, which is the bug jumping puzzle one. Yisha, I just, like... I didn't get it back then. I still don't get it. I don't like that part of the story, so I just don't really pay attention to it. And as far as these two ages, I'll just link to them and get them added to the bookshelf. They're nice. They're nice big ages. Like, I liked the mechanics behind the ages, but again, the ending is just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. Because one particular puzzle has to do with time, and the only way they could really get the point across is to just... I remember very much just having to stand in under a lamp. So there was a dark hallway. I stood in a light for like 15 minutes, motionless, just to make sure that it would register that I was waiting there. Because that was the puzzle, was to wait there. I see that there may be something going on with this grid. Can I take a picture? In that case, the DMV is a puzzle. Yes. So, I don't remember the details. But you run around these ages, you collect all these, like, snippets of, like, religious scripture, I guess. And you eventually get the point that you're supposed to wait. You're supposed to be patient. Or something like that. And the answer was, stand around and wait. And, okay, sure, I can get patience. But, this is not a game to do that in. Took a picture. I'm gonna go get the other book. DMV speedrun, 2 hours. Oh, already been to that one. This one. Oh, okay. Okay. So these symbols look familiar, right? We've got trees and mushrooms, and now clocks and time and all sorts of things. $2.18. See, I think these are passages in a book. $2.18. And there was like a 1.4. And you're supposed to read everything. Like Bible verses. And then you're supposed to deduce to stand still. I might be crazy. Like, I may be, like, just misremembering the lead up to it, but I remember standing under a light for a very long time. And it made me madder and madder the longer I was there. So I do remember... You know what? It's like almost... Oh. 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 Little crabs. Hi. Hi? Boop. Bye. And there's a book over there. The islands look like the rocket ship age. Kinda, yeah. Up. I'm bugging out. Can I just link back home from here, please? Thank you. Maybe I'll read the Watcher's Sanctuary book. Because it is kind of cool. Oh. What's this book? Okay, so the Watcher's Sanctuary is kind of neat. They had a prophecy about a king that would come and be kind of like... Well, I'll just see if it's covered here. Okay, so here is the intro to Path of the Shell and what we're going to be dealing with here. 2002 and 2003. Okay, where to get started? The room itself is actually pretty simple and at first glance doesn't seem to have much to it. Well, for your average explorer, there is actually much more here than meets the eye. Much more, at least, as far as history. It's practically dripping off the walls. Fortunately, I dig that stuff. Lucky for you, I'm also better than your average explorer. Okay. Might be getting ahead of myself. Yes. Let's see. Circular room with a number of doorways leading off in each direction. Large staircase. Might need some support work. Leads to an upper level. They're talking about the room I'm standing in right now. The tree off the balcony. I can't see it well. It's dark, but it's an old tree. Don't know exactly when it was created, although certain style and material elements suggest as far back as the early 2000s, long before a guy called the Watcher came around. And it's the Watcher that this place was created for, renovated for, and dedicated to from the time it was built in the late 4000s until the fall of the Dunny. The Watcher lived during the mid-4000s and spent most of that life on hidden, secluded ages. He wrote a book called Words, a prophetical book, Nostradamus-type guy. Strange, though it doesn't seem his prophecies caught on real well at first, through a variety of events. You can ask someone else if you want to know them all. The guy became more and more popular, then faded, then popular again, you know the deal. There was always a core group of followers, but the overall population wavered, I would imagine, depending on how accurate they viewed his visions. Over the course of time, a whole lot of copies of his books were printed. We've found plenty of them. As I mentioned, the tree, which I still don't know how to actually get to, was built long before the Watcher. No one at the DRC seems to know exactly what it was for. Best guesses are that the tree was built early on as a representation of the Dunny that had come here, the new tree. They definitely had a thing for trees. Like I said, in the novels at least like the old story is that they said the great tree was kind of like all the worlds. So the Watcher comes along and writes some prophecies. They end up becoming pretty popular, and they do deal quite a bit with the tree, as much of Dunny prophecy does. And an unknown guy builds this building with the tree as its focus. Seems like the building was an upper-class lounge or sitting room, pub, something along those lines. The intellectuals come and discuss the philosophies and politics of the day, although there was some homage being paid to the Watcher and his thoughts and ideas. This sanctuary, or whatever you want to call it, stayed successful. Even while ownership changed, it seems it changed as frequency as the philosophies and religious views of the people. It wasn't until Kadish came along, yes, our good friend Kadish, that the thing really took off. Unfortunately, right before the fall. I've just realized I haven't moved in the past few minutes. I'm standing in the building giving an analysis of it without moving. Gotta love history. So back to it. Nice little coves in this place. Wouldn't be bad at all with a cigar. Blah, blah, blah. Kadish was the last guy to own it, and it seems he did some renovations. This is where the history and current day setup get interesting. The Watcher spoke quite a bit in words about someone known as the Grower. The Grower is prophesied to do a number of things, and it seems there were numerous interpretations of the Grower. Some saw this person as little more than a great lord or king, while others saw this person as a superhuman miracle worker, godlike, conquering time, space, and dimension, and everything else. The views on the Grower were as varied as you can imagine. What's important is that Kadish viewed himself as the Grower, as the one the Watcher had prophesied about. As a result, he modified the pub to honor not only the prophet, but himself as well. He seemed to be intent on fulfilling as many of the prophecies as he could, so he built this puzzling path of the shell to the tree. Brought the Ae'gura book here. Kadish was the engineer behind its construction. Brought the Anone book here and claimed that it allowed him to travel through time back to the Dunny homeworld as it was, as it is, and as it would be. Kadish claimed he wrote the book. All of these things to fulfill the prophecies. Even the times of Dunny were significant because the Watcher claimed to see visions of the past, present, and future. As a result, he wrote what he saw, never knowing if it would occur in the future, had already occurred in the past, or was occurring as he wrote. People flocked to the place. Not only was it the only way to travel through time, but Kadish himself was the only one who could solve the spiral path of the shell and access the tree. In fact, he would demonstrate his ability to anyone who wanted to come and watch. Nightly challenges were held to see if anyone else could access the room. It seems no one ever did, further confirmation of Kadish as the Grower. Kadish bragged that the Watcher clearly spoke of how to solve the room in his prophecies, and that anyone could find the solution there. Easy to say when you did build the thing. Maybe I don't get something. Huh? Either way, good luck reading through all those and figuring out anything, let alone the solution to some kind of weird Dunny puzzle. The DRC not great at puzzle solving. So it seems the Kadish ran the sanctuary up to the end. Obviously, at some point we know he died. We've all seen the remains of the poor guy. An odd end for a guy that seemed to have so much. Had a book right there, but didn't use it. But that's another story. Okay, history out of the way, and I guess I should finish with the spiral path room. I'm not a big puzzle guy, but the room seems very confusing. A switch closes the door and turns on the light, and some mechanism releases the ball back to its starting point. There are numbers scratched into the walls of the maze as well. Enough of that. I can see myself going crazy in a place like this. Oddly, there's no physical access to from the city that surrounds the building. We know the building is up in the J. Terry district, but there is definitely no way to get in from the outside and vice versa. This journal says vice versa. No. Not sure if Kadish sealed it up or if it's always was, but I would bet the second idea. Makes it handy to limit access. If you don't have a book, you're not getting here, and that would explain why the books here were never destroyed or taken. That's it for now. I'll probably get back here again after checking Arcana and Annone. So, long story short, this is dedicated to the Watcher. I mean, the Grower. The Watcher and the Grower. The Grower is a prophesied person who time travels and can change ages. Yeah. So I bet you can't guess who actually is the Grower. It's not Kadish, right? Because he's dead. Anyway. That's... I could keep going, but I think this is a good place to stop. Next expansion coming. So, that's the thing, right? Shadowlands is coming out next week. Is it next Tuesday? I think it's the 23rd. Well, that's a Monday. And I don't want to stream, like, the launch day because A, it's probably not going to work. B, there's going to be so many people fighting over the starting zone. C, I've really never been like a I gotta be the first to finish kind of guy, so I'm tempted to just kind of like wait until the starting zone clears out, and that might give me enough time to finish this. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm not playing Shadowlands anytime except on stream, so that means I have to get max level on stream. All right, got it? So if you want to unfollow me now because it's going to be Shadowlands until I'm level 60. Okay, I'm done. 40 minutes over. So the same old stuff. Thanks for watching. Thanks for lurking. Thanks to Dark Shocks for the raid. 3 viewers who were unable to say anything because maybe I kind of accidentally had followers only mode turned on. Whoops. Whoops. Yeah. Thanks to YouTubers. Thanks to the VOD watchers. And I promise you, cross my heart, hope to die. I didn't have followers only chat on to make people follow. Okay? Okay? That was an accident. I thought it was going to turn followers only mode on for only 10 minutes, not that people had to follow for 10 minutes. Anyway. That's it. I'll see you guys later. Monday, probably. Yeah, Monday. I'm going to be super busy this weekend, so no sneaky streams this weekend. Anyway, I can change my my layout with my phone. So I don't have to like crash my system changing scenes. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Have a good weekend and happy, well, I was going to say happy Thanksgiving, but we still got plenty of time. But anyway, for people having Thanksgiving this weekend, happy Thanksgiving. How about that?